Hello, welcome to the Long Island Weather Outlook on January 28th. This gloomy Sunday where we've had, again, most of the rain's over, but we got annoying drizzle lingering around. It's still some rain lingering out over eastern, and all the colder stuff, that's all north of us where the snow is falling. But other than that, we're just dealing with another rainy day across the area. Miserable rainy day, chilly rainy day as well. Looking at the satellite, you can see we're pretty socked in with the clouds. If we go and look at our CONUS satellite view here, you can see the whole east is socked in with the clouds. But you'll notice some drier weather in the Midwest here, which hopefully we can get into later this week. So let's go and look at our current observations across the area. And you'll see across the country, we just got the winter weather stuff in the north and a freezing spray advisory in northern Maine. But other than that, looking at our area here, we've got a pretty just chilly, raw day out there. Temperature's 36 degrees with the annoying drizzle around. 36 degrees, 36 degrees. Light rain mist being reported at Islip right now. So let's look at our highs and lows across the area. And our highs, well, we'll start with the lows. Probably the current temperatures, which are in the mid to upper 30s, will still be above normal for the day. Highs only in the low 40s. So that was as of last night. So you're looking at your day, it was pretty much... Look at your day at Islip here, you'll see that. Pretty much the temperatures have gotten cooler as the day has gone on. You can see looking at some of these wind gusts here. We've had some wind gusts up there. And that's just made it pretty miserable out there. The steadier rain was in the morning. And then we've just had this annoying light rain and drizzle through the afternoon and the evening hours. Let's look at the rainfall so far. We'll go ahead and look at our 24-hour rainfalls. And you'll see here across Long Island so far, we have gotten between 3/4 of an inch and an inch of rain. To the north, they've gotten about a little more than an inch, so the heavier precipitation definitely up to the north. And in New Jersey as well, northern New Jersey, over an inch of rain there. And we do have a flood advisory, coastal flood advisory for Ocean County. It looks like between 1/4 of an inch and an inch there, so that's generally what we've seen across the area. Latest rain and snow reports, we can just go over them briefly from the Weather Service here. Pretty much you can see the heavier amounts have been in Connecticut with the rainfall, and northern New Jersey. And then for Nassau, there's Branchville. I don't think Branchville is in Nassau County. I don't even know where that is. 0.83 in Great Neck. So 1.17 in Rockland, Suffolk County, 0.88 in Orient. So nothing crazy with the rainfall, but it just shows you what a wet month it has been. Oh yeah, I didn't show the snowfall amounts. Very little snowfall reports in our area. That's well to the north. So let's take a look and see what our climate statistics are for Islip today. And Islip we were still 9 degrees above normal today, temperature-wise. The low of 38 is 14 degrees above normal. Rainfall so far, we've now gotten 7.12. That was taken earlier, so I'm sure we'll be over 8 inches by the time this storm is done. Looking at your weather map here, you can see there's your storm right there, slowly moving offshore. High pressure in the middle of the country, and hopefully we can get into that a little bit later on. So let's go look at our outlook here. We're going to go to the North American view and look at the jet stream here on the GFS. And you'll see there's that Pacific fire hose there. Look at that thing going. So you can see that fire hose is just going to keep the cold air locked up in the Arctic. And that kind of continues. And then you can see it sort of gets a little weaker a little bit toward the end of the month. As we get into February, it seems like it weakens, but then it strengthens again. So it doesn't seem like it's going anywhere on this GFS model. We can look at the European model as well. The 12 is the European model. And you'll see, yeah, it doesn't really seem like it's really going anywhere. You can see it sort of gets a little weaker as we get into that the first full week of February, where we could have some opportunities for some colder weather coming into the picture. Let's look at our upper air. And you'll see here in the upper air that there's our storm right there. You can see just a lot of ridging. There's another storm that goes well off to the south during this week. And then we get a little bit of troughing in the east as we get into the weekend and next week, according to the European. And this could be our next opportunity for some snow, perhaps, but there's still no Arctic connection here. There's no Arctic connection, but we would at least get into some colder polar air. GFS. Here's the GFS. I think there's some differences. Let's see. Yeah, the GFS, you can see it actually has the trough over the east on the weekend. But then we go back to the ridging again. Oh, it does still show some troughs. But this isn't a pattern that's going to get us into any Arctic air yet. Looking at the polar vortex, unfortunately, it still seems like it's wrapped up very tight. You can see, yeah. It doesn't seem. It does seem like it's trying to have a stratospheric warming event as we get toward the middle of the month. So we'll have to see, but we're going to have to wait till then to see any Arctic air. Let's go look at our temperature anomaly charts now. So obviously we are above normal, and we will be above normal tomorrow as well. And then you can see very much. Look at how much look how above normal Canada is too. By the way, way above normal, even in Canada. No cold air at all around whatsoever. Not until we get toward the weekend do we see some cold air start to slip through in the east. And then we're back to the same old thing again. Way, way above normal temperatures again, with that Arctic connection just kind of cut off across the whole country. Looking at the European model. So the European, see if there are any differences. That's what we look for here. And that's as far as the European goes. But it seems like they're pretty similar. But let's now take a look and see what they look like at the surface. So I'll first start with the European here. So this is our first storm right here. We try to get into some fair weather, at least for later Monday into Tuesday. There's a low pressure offshore that kind of stays suppressed because there is a kind of a blocking pattern there. Another low pressure system there that forms offshore. And then that gets kind of caught in the Maritimes there off Maine. That's going to pull down some colder air. And then that's as far as we've got so far on the European. GFS next. So here's the GFS. Pretty much looks pretty similar here, as you see here. But our next transportation will be Friday, maybe with that a cold front coming through. That would bring in the colder air, at least so we have a colder weekend. Look at how far suppressed that system gets. It's a very strong block, but there's no Arctic air connected to it, unfortunately. If there was, we would have had some cold weather. But it doesn't look like any major snowstorms in the cards right now on these models. So, unfortunately, we just don't see it yet. Now, if I do take the European back a little bit to yesterday, I think it was the, let's see, it was the 12Z, I think. It actually had a storm doing this. It would have still been rain, though. It was a very crazy track. We're not seeing that on the current European. That storm is staying offshore. So that's really weird and very abnormal. I wouldn't think that was going to would be happening. So let's take a look at the HRRR here. As far as the rest of this storm goes, because we'll be dealing with some lingering light precipitation through at least the early part of tomorrow, and then we start drying out. You can see the northwest winds taking. There still could be a little snow shower there in the evening, perhaps. And then as we go into Tuesday, you can see still has a few snow showers around. At least that means it will be colder. So let's look at our dew points and wind flows. And you'll see here that we've got the northerly winds here. We're going to have the northerly winds. That's going to bring in the colder air. Nothing really Arctic, though. You do see it looks like some really colder air up here, starting to enter the picture around Maine, but it just doesn't make it down here. And then the winds become more easterly on Tuesday, and that's going to favor more cloudiness as you get that easterly wind off the ocean. Let's go to temperatures now. Tonight, we're probably staying in the mid-30s. For tomorrow, probably upper 30s to around 40. And then still not dropping, so still going to be above normal. But Tuesday could be a little chilly because we'll have that cloud cover, and temperatures only around 32 degrees. So it will be a little chilly, but we will have that probably plenty of cloud cover that day, I'm sure, with that wind flow the way we've got it. So let's look at the GFS now and take things out a little bit more here. So looking at dew points and wind flow, move this along here. You can see that colder, but it just doesn't get over here, unfortunately. You have to be in Maine to experience that. And then Wednesday, so you got the easterly flow. It's going to tend to keep clouds around, I think. And then we get a westerly, southwesterly flow warming up on Thursday and Friday ahead of this cold front. And then this is the cold front that'll bring in some colder air. Perhaps even, maybe this is even a little bit of Arctic air here. Dew points dropping into the single digits and teens for Saturday and Sunday. Sunday looks like, wow, Sunday really low dew points. And then Monday, too. So this will be a little bit of a cold air outbreak here. And it kind of lingers around until next week. So that's what we'll have. I think we'll have a little bit of colder weather. Then it may not be bitterly cold as far as record breaking, because it seems like we can never do that. You'll see as we get past this week, you'll see Saturday we'll probably have a day where highs are only in around 30 degrees. And then Sunday it gets even colder. Still highs only around 30 degrees. That's still not really Arctic air. It's more like Canadian air. But you'll see here that you'll have, it will definitely be below normal those days. We'll have some cold weather as we get into the next. So just hang in there. We'll have a little bit of cold weather there. But as far as snow goes, doesn't look like there's going to be any snow with the storms being suppressed way to the south right now. Lastly, let's go to the skies. All right, so obviously plenty of clouds around for tomorrow. Tuesday, still showing plenty of clouds. Maybe a break Wednesday. Maybe Thursday, still showing plenty of clouds. We have to wait until the weekend, I think, and then we can finally maybe clear it out a little bit there. Sunday looks pretty chilly there. February the 4th looks pretty cold, as well as Monday. So hopefully we can get into some good weather those days, hopefully. And finally, looks like a good stretch of weather they're trying to set up there with that blocking pattern. And we're getting that cold, dry air from eastern Canada. And hopefully that will bring us a nice string of, really potential nice string of clear days there, hopefully. Our gem, because we haven't, like I said, we've hardly, I think it's been one of the cloudiest Januaries on record in ice slip. So here is Monday. You can see maybe a few breaks of sun toward the afternoon. Our gem seems to think we'll see a little more sun on Tuesday. We'll have to see what happens, and then clouds kind of develop. We start off with sun, and then more clouds in the afternoon pop up. Plenty of clouds for Wednesday, clearing up a little bit. Yeah, a little bit. Wednesday, February 1st, clearing up a little bit there. Thursday, maybe we see a little more in the way of sun, perhaps. Let's lastly go to the Climate Prediction Center here and look at our 6 to 10 day outlook, and you'll see it actually has us a little bit on the below normal side here, and precipitation way below normal in the northeast and the Great Lakes, which is very welcome. Much above normal precipitation in the southwest, so that's a break. We need a break from all this rain. It's ridiculous. 8 to 14 day, though, puts us back in the above normal for the Great Lakes and below normal for the west. So I want to thank you for watching this Long Island Weather Outlook, and have a good night.